I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Mayor Judge.
Here.
Commissioner Meeks.
Here.
Commissioner Reitmeyer.
Here.
Commissioner Dolger.
Here.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Here.
Approval of minutes held on November 1st, 2021. Do I have a motion?
I'll make
Russell?
the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks.
Present?
Say yes.
Yes or no? I mean, going, yep, yes.
Commissioner Reitmeyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Dolger.
Yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
All right.
2 weeks ago, man.
Want to welcome everybody. Want to do a huge shout out to the Mount Carmel Aces football team. 18-0 so far since last spring and this fall. Looks like hopefully we'll find out tonight they're Cal Prep, but it's looking pretty promising for us to have another victory. So let's go 20-0 and bring home a state championship. Also, a big congratulations to the Aces band. They had a wonderful halftime show. They've worked very hard. I felt bad for the girls being sleeveless out on the field because it was cold, but they're troopers and did a great job. Also, want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up in the next week. So hopefully everybody enjoys the time off with their family. Got some updates. We've been anxiously waiting for the last year and a half for the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity to release the Restore Illinois Infrastructure Grant. And we've had multiple dates where it's been set back and set back and set back. Well, in the fashion that we've been experiencing, it has been set back one more time, I'm told, to sometime before Christmas it will be announced. So hopefully we get some closure on this, whether we're going to get a grant or not. Hopefully we do. Leading into that, back in August, I asked for council's approval to look into going forward on getting the pool looked at and just the whole facilities itself. While up in Chicago, Mr. Turner and myself talked with a company called Burbach Aquatics. They're architects and engineers. They're out of Wisconsin. They do a lot of pool work. This is all they do. They did the City of Marshall's pool a couple years back. Their work was quite impressive. You agree, Mr. Turner?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm familiar with our pool.
Yeah, and they were actually very familiar with our pool, being one of the last of its kind, and have put together a proposal for them to come in and completely evaluate the pool, the filtration, everything, the pool house, just look the whole facility over and give us their, what their thoughts are on the repair, renovation, and replacement of different items at the city pool. They are with the understanding that we want to keep the main pool and just improve on it. And so they're going to look at that in a phase 1, a technical evaluation. I believe, and I'll leave this for you guys to look at, for the phase 1, step 1 is stipulated amount of $2,750 plus reimbursables. There are a couple other local municipalities working with them also currently, and they are wanting to arrange, coming down and kind of splitting the cost with us and a couple other municipalities. And so tonight I'm asking for approval to spend $2,750 for this phase 1 evaluation.
That includes their travel and everything?
Yes, and they're staying down here for several days.
That's not bad.
No, it's for them to come back to us with a scope of construction and to meet all the health and ADA code requirements for not only the pool, but the pool house. I think it's money well spent.
I'll make the motion.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks,
Yes.
Commissioner Eichmeyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Dolger,
Yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right, thank you guys very much. All right, welcome back, Mr. Commissioner Meeks.
Thanks,
Your
Mayor.
report, please.
Okay, the street department's been pretty busy. They installed some new tracks on the mini excavator, serviced the skid steer, repaired hydraulic leaks on the street sweeper, which is a pretty major deal. On an alley between 5th and 6th Street, we had a citizen call and wanted to know if we would take out the broken up concrete. He would be willing to pay to get the new concrete poured, so street department went down and broke up the old, most of it broke up anyway. Took the concrete out, and that alley will probably be closed 10 to 12 days. I thought they were gonna start forming it up today, but I found out it's gonna be tomorrow, so they'll have to get concrete poured, and does a garbage truck run that route?
Yes.
So they'll have to stay off of it. So it may be a couple weeks before that alley is reopened. We got that new salt container, I guess they would call it, down at the street department. Got a fence and a gate put up that ties into the existing fence. We hauled 6 loads of dirt to the old Snap-on property. I guess topsoil, trying to fill in some low spots. Fixed a storm sewer sinkhole on Chandler Drive, and cut some dangerous limbs in various parts of town. I guess they were hanging over wires or neighbors' houses and stuff, so we got some of those cut off. That's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Meeks. Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Revenue the past 2 weeks is $205,757 in the general fund, mostly sales tax, income tax, utility tax, state use tax, which our sales tax continues to be strong. $118,459 this month, taking us to $626,810, so that's positive news. State income tax is $59,600 and taking us to $541,944 for the year, so they're both ahead of a budget. That leaves us in the general fund after $109,000 in expenses, just a hair under $1.8 million in our general fund balance. Also thought I'd mention we've had a lot of projects going on. Some of them are funded in a variety of ways, but the motor fuel tax account, which oil and chip comes out of, and some of these other things, stands at $1,047,119, and we did have $75,000 in expenditures and about $23 in revenue this past 2 weeks. End of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Eichmeyer. Commissioner Dolger.
Thank you, Mayor. Maintenance Department has winterized all ball fields, city pool, bathrooms, new water fountains. So that's been done. They also met with the contractor on the 3rd and Walnut Street project prior to it starting. That project has started. It's roughly halfway done. Should be done here in the next couple weeks. In the meantime, we had another major water leak at 3rd and Walnut on a different line that actually was going to be part of this 3rd and Walnut Street project that we're currently working on. So in the project, we were going to put in a new hydrant. So Mike, they went ahead and put the hydrant in.
Correct. Instead of just capping that break off and waiting for this to be part of that next phase of the project, they went ahead and put the hydrant in and put a valve in there, and were able to stop the leak under the road.
So that was another major leak. Like we weren't even able to produce enough water to keep up with it there for a while at that same location. So good thing that they were able to find that and get it fixed in the same day. They also completed a sewer line repair replacement on Pear Street. The sewer department, clarifier 1 was taken down, and thank you to Dave Easter for going out and helping James and Stephen with welding clarifier 1 and kind of putting a fix to that's needed to be done for a while. And then the sludge press has been fixed and is in operation. Water department, everything's pretty Standard down there, pretty good. Nothing to report on them. End of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Dogger. Commissioner Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mayor. The fire department has made 8 runs in the last couple weeks, and they've also had their monthly meeting. And I would like to congratulate Mark Seaton, who on tomorrow will have completed his 25th year with the Mount Carmel Fire Department. And also Chief McGee, he will be beginning his 18th year on the, where's his date? On the 21st of November, he'll be starting his 18th year. So I'd like to congratulate both of them for their longtime commitment. There's also still tickets available for the fire truck raffle. The City Hall has some tickets available, and they're also available at the fire department. So those tickets will be sold until we just can't sell anymore. So they are $5 each, or 20 for $5. And then in regards to the brush, we've got the leaf truck, is currently down, but it'll be back into operation in the next couple of days, and then it'll start its route again. So we apologize for that. And keep in mind that when you are putting your leaves, do not put them in the street, and that keep the sticks and debris out of the piles of leaves, make them leaves only. Otherwise, it will tear up the machine even more than what it's already been torn up. So that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Zimmerman. I'm gonna skip back to visitors. Terry, are you here for something?
I'm here for the Christmas Uptown.
Okay, didn't have you down, so, but I'll go ahead and let you go.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, we were asking for closure of the streets, and I believe you have copies
Yes.
of that letter, and I wanted to be here to answer any questions that you might have in that regard. We're real excited to be able to extend down to 6th Street this year, so we're gonna be 3 blocks long, and that'll stretch some things out and hopefully thin the crowd
Yep.
just a little bit. We're adding some new things, and so, anyway, we just would like permission for the street closings, and then to work with the street department on getting the barriers up and
Yep.
that kind of thing. So,
Sounds good. Anybody got any questions?
Oh, that's great.
Yep, looking forward to having it again.
good to go with that then, with what's on there? Appreciate
Yes,
that.
I'll order the porta potties
That too.
tomorrow. That's
That-
very important, so I'll make sure I get on that.
Maybe more than closing the street.
Yeah. We'll get that taken care of tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Staff reports. Mr. Turner.
All right, just a reminder, next week, City Hall will be closed on the 25th and 26th. They'll close at noon on the 24th, so we really shouldn't have a lot going on as far as people paying their water bills at that time, so it shouldn't interrupt any service. Besides that, the street department has been extremely busy trying to tidy up some of the stuff for winter, as long as, just like every other department. Just want to congratulate all the workers, because they were out in the cold, and they've really been helping me out lately with some small projects. That's all I have, Mayor.
Also, to let everybody know, in times past, we have started setting up the decorations uptown the week of Thanksgiving. This year, we're changing that tradition and starting this week. That way, we are not pressed for time for last-minute setups. So I believe they're going to start that tomorrow, Mr. Gitchum?
That is correct.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get it done by Wednesday.
Okay.
I do have something real quick. While you're here, Terry, the Christmas Uptown stuff that is stored at the water
Yeah.
department, or do you have a place?
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
Yes.
so that won't be torn down until after Christmas Uptown, but
Oh, good.
don't put it back in there if you can help it.
Okay, so do you not think we have till the end of the year?
Oh, yeah, if you have to, I was just trying to save you an extra move.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, okay. We're working on, because the Roots and Q
Oh,
Yeah.
stuff is down there too, so we're gonna do that all at the same time.
no,
Yep.
I don't believe it's gonna happen until January, at the earliest.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, yes.
Perfect.
All right, Mr. Waldrop.
No report.
All right, Chief McWilliams.
The only thing I would mention is that we concluded our raffle. Tomorrow, we're going to present Mark Seaton, kind of the chair, I guess, of the program, with a check for $3,700 and change. So impressed with the outpouring of support. Hopefully it continues with the fire department. This is just a phenomenal fundraiser that really paid dividends with little effort.
Yeah.
So I think the total was $37.30 is what the final total will be.
Okay.
So very, very happy with that. Otherwise, just standard, normal couple weeks, so
Is that more than you normally raise?
never done this before.
Not done, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's for the shop with the cop, right?
Right.
Yep.
Normally in the past, Mark would solicit funds from businesses or individuals that wanted to donate. Last year, I know he didn't really do that because of COVID. So the way I see it, we're kind of making up for not fundraising last year. I don't know where he's at with other donations, but hopefully between the two, that we'll put a good chunk in there to kind of build those funds back up, and so we'll be ready to go for Christmas.
I do want to pass on a thank you from the school district for having officers on the field on Saturday at the game. Principal Shelby was very appreciative of that, but especially Officer Hopper. So anyways,
Yeah, that, it sounds like they handled it very well, and no real issues, I don't think. At least I didn't hear of them.
I think there was some embarrassment after the meeting, or after the issue on the Benton coaches side, and they gave a sincere apology to the school district, so, but just sad it happened. But anyway, all right, thank you very much. Chief Speth?
The only thing I got, Thanksgiving's next week, and please, if you're deep frying turkeys, make sure it's not frozen when you deep fry 'em. Make sure you clean your oven out. On Thanksgiving, there's 3 times as many house fires that involves cooking equipment than any time of the year. So make sure you have all your appliances in good shape and clean and stuff. And last meeting, we talked about smoke detectors. Commissioner Zimmerman did. Between 2014 and 2018, almost 3 out of 5 house fires that deaths occurred in was either no smoke detectors or non-working smoke detectors, so it's something to think about. So everybody needs to try and make sure they work and stuff. That's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Chief Speth. All right, Mr. Gidcombe.
Well, they'll start out with, we had, I'm gonna call it phase 2 of the Oak Street Sidewalk project. We had the bid opening. We had 2 bids come in. They came in higher than what were expected, and instead of voting to accept one of those this time, I'd like to have time to discuss it with the engineer and have Ryan and I get with the engineer to discuss the costs on this, if you guys would mind tabling that until the next meeting.
I agree with Mr. Gidcombe. Both the bids were, I felt, high, and I want to see if we can lower the cost of the project by getting a hold of Illinois Department of Transportation. We noticed 20% of one of the bids was some work on the state right-of-way, and I'd like to take the time to reach out to the Illinois Department of Transportation to see if they can do that instead of us paying a contractor to do it. I mean, literally, it's almost $20,000 of the project, so, anybody got any questions? Is everybody fine with tabling it?
I am.
Yep.
All right. Tabled.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let Dave Dallas tell a little bit about the Oak Street project.
Okay, we've been waiting until we could get a railroad flagger once again, but we were able to get one there. The contractor was able to get one today. So they were able to fill in the gaps where the tracks were, both siding tracks and the main track. Also got all the rest of the intersections paved today. That's about all they got done today. There's a rather lengthy list of items that still need to be addressed before the project is suspended, but probably toward the end of the week, the project will be suspended until next next spring because it's too late in the year. I think November 1st is the last date that you can do the thermoplastic striping, and we'll just suspend the job, and then that's about all. One other than the items that are on the punch list, that's about the only remaining work is be stop bars, center line stripes, railroad crossing, symbols in the street, so on and so forth, so. Making progress.
Yeah, they will suspend, Hal Paving will suspend their part of it, but Kiefer Brothers will continue to work as long as they can on the sidewalk project.
That's correct.
So-
And they started today, and looked to
Yes.
me like they made some pretty good progress today.
Yes, they did.
And they also started the 13th Street
Yes.
today, up there.
Yeah, and they, what they tore out of, College Drive today, they already got poured back, so, and started on the, radius of the new sidewalk, so, a lot of concrete work in town.
Just good, just hope for another 3 weeks of good weather.
Tomorrow's looking really good, so, but, anyway, okay. Anything else? All right, thank you, Mr. Gidcombe, and thank you, Mr. Dallas. Back to Mr. Turner, consent agenda.
All right. Do I have a motion to pay the bills and approve the consent agenda?
Well, you want to talk about what's in the consent on the second reading?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. Knew there was something I was missing. So tonight is the second read for the